What's up, everyone? It's Oaf here. And boy, I never thought I'd get to this point, making a Zelda Theory video. But, Red still scare you? Have I got some scarier? Yeah, I love surprises. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, I'm Oaf, and welcome to the first ever theory video on the channel. The Legend of Zelda series, yeah. Absolute favorite, from the sky to the wild. The Zelda series will forever have a place in my heart, especially when there's deep lore, dark unseen wars, and space-time convergence. I guess the easy way is never actually easy. Especially space-time. Where does this start, and what's the whole purpose to this? Well, hopefully I'll try to explain, or at least humor you, as I dive into the topic of convergence. I'll say this now. The timeline is complex, only because we ever saw it like so. What if it was more 3D? What if theories from the Zelda community are true? What if the two Ganondorf's gap between dimensions and Skyward Sword split were real? All of it actually might be true. Let me explain. This is the timeline, but in more of a 3D setting. Got everything from beginning to the end. This right here, is the Skyward Sword split. The way it works is, Hero of the Sky went through the Gate of Time for the first time. He altered the time stream, thus making a split. And we'll call this the cursed and not cursed timelines, or A and B. We can even classify them as followed. A, cursed timeline. Timeline where Demise is killed in the past. The hero, Groose, and Zelda then go back to the present. However, it's not the same reality that they left. A couple of the things that you would be able to notice is the Gate of Time being gone, Impa dying, and the Master Sword's pedestal. B-side would be the reality that was left alone, with no Zelda, no hero, or Groose. Gate of Time would still exist, and old Impa would be alive. Triforce exposed to interlopers with no goddess reincarnate, hero, or royal family to come. But why? Because they don't exist in this reality anymore. It could be that the events have been stacked the whole time. Maybe I'm speculating, or Nintendo has amazing foresight. Maybe we won't know. But this B-side would become the events of the past for the child timeline. It's a stretch, but imagine this. The Hero of Time was sent back in time, making a new timeline, known as the child timeline. But the reality he existed in was the A-side, or the adult timeline. So did the child timeline have a history? More than likely, yeah. B-side, or the reality of the interloper war, and no curse of demise. Suddenly, in this other side, there's a kingdom and people that was never there, yet no one would know, except the original inhabitants, who are so conveniently placed in the Twilight Realm. But wait, I hear you asking, who banished the interlopers? The light spirits from the request of the goddesses. There was no royal family, and not until the Hero of Time appeared would there be a kingdom. Same goes for Ganondorf himself. The Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time is the same in the Adult and Downfall timelines. One where he killed the Hero of Time, and one where he was stopped. Used Link for a plot to steal the Triforce by opening the Sacred Realm. This guy ain't the same. How? Because there was nothing until the Hero of Time appeared. Meaning the kingdom, lands, people, and even more would appear almost as a copy of the original. Copy is a bad word, but I'm not a writer. Fucking meta as fuck. Whoa. This Ganondorf never stepped into the Sacred Realm himself. The hero told the royal family about the coup d'etat stopping Ganondorf, so that would mean the Sacred Realm would be closed off, and Ganondorf couldn't enter, ever. So again, two Ganondorfs. One from Ocarina of Time, who stepped inside of the Sacred Realm and touched the Triforce, and the other one, the second one, who did not. It's also at the time of me writing this script 7:30 in the morning, and I've been up for maybe 24 hours at the time of writing. So if any of this sounds jumbled, then my apologies. However, in short, that would mean that the Hero of Time is of the A side, but now exists in the B side. So the timeline split would be the first part of Convergence. So the second part is odd. Downfall Ganondorf losing his humanity, becoming a brainless beast, his mind and soul would disappear to the gap between dimensions. And in the adult timeline, Ganondorf was killed. Sword to the skull. That's gotta hurt. Mind and soul too go to the gap between dimensions. And those are the same Ganondorf from Ocarina of Time. They would merge into one soul of malice, back into Ganondorf A, and yes, the downfall and adult timelines would merge after eons of time. But Dorf is chilling in the gap between dimensions, staring at the newly formed Not Cursed timeline, or B-side as it's known. And in the B-side, that Ganondorf has died. The souls and minds would merge into one body by breaking through the void. Or in other terms, A-side Ganondorf and B-side Ganondorf share B-side's body, but with two souls and minds. Impossible, you say? It more than likely, but I wouldn't jump to conclusions yet. You see, I've heard a lot about there being a possibility of two heroes in one body. I think it's possible that Ganondorf will show it too. 2 in 1. But how is this aligned with Convergence? It's the gap between dimensions. And the gap between dimensions, or void, exists between realities and space-time. And with the A-side with no body, the B-side would work fine. Meaning when A-side Ganondorf merges with B-side, it's the timeline convergence happening at that point. Why don't I show you something that makes sense? The following is from the Loki show from Marvel/Disney. Loki perfectly explains how apocalypses and calamities exist outside of space-time, but affect realities.
He's hiding in apocalypses.
Which apocalypse? Any time in history, there's like a million of them.
Ragnarok. Are you familiar?
Yes, the destruction of Asgard and most of its people.
Anyway, it got me thinking. Nexus events happen when someone does something they're not supposed to do, right?
Well, it's a little more complicated, but yeah.
Great. And then that thing they're not supposed to do cascades into a whole range of other things that aren't supposed to happen, and so on and so forth, until eventually a new timeline branches. Yes?
Chaotic alterations of a predetermined outcome.
Exactly. So, let's just say
What are you doing?
your salad is Asgard. I could go down to Asgard before Ragnarok causes its complete destruction, and I could do anything I wanted. I can do whatever I want to do, and it would never matter. It wouldn't go against the dictates of the timeline, because the apocalypse is coming. Ragnarok. Surtur will destroy Asgard no matter what I do.
No, don't do...
There's the apocalypse. Ragnarok obliterates the salt. Ragnarok. There it is.
What am I looking at?
It doesn't matter. It could be any apocalypse. It could be a tidal wave, it could be a meteor, it could be a volcano, a supernova. If everything and everyone around you is destined for imminent destruction, then nothing that I say or do will matter. Because the timeline's not going to branch. Because it gets destroyed. Hence, the variant could be hiding in the apocalypse and do whatever he wants, and we wouldn't know.
With this 3D timeline, we see the exact thing. Multiple events of world-ending tragedies that are merged via a nexus or shared apocalyptic calamities. That almost sounds convenient. Or maybe all of this was way too much overthinking. More than likely, but who knows. Too Long Didn't Watch, a split happened in Skyward Sword. Then a split in Ocarina of Time starts to mend the timeline. Ganondorf and Ganondorf, A and B, merge into one over countless centuries. And after an unknown time has happened, the first calamity happens. An apocalypse, also known as a convergence. And yeah, that's essentially it. I know I might have missed a couple of things like the Triforce and a couple other important topics, but I will 100% cover those in future videos if you guys are interested in this convergence idea. Thank you all for watching or listening, and it means a lot that you would stick to this point. So I guess to end off this video, this whole topic was inspired by watching Commonwealth Realm, Monster Maze, Bandit, and Nintendo Black Crisis. Links in the description. Again, we might have some things that might be missing, but if you guys want to see more in the future, just let me know. This is the Oaf, signing off, and as always, on to the next.